As the sun sets and the moon rises, we open the toy chest of horror on an old Hallows Eve and delve into the toy story of terror. Okay, that's enough of that. Greetings, fanboys and fangirls, I'm Erod, and I'm the Blockbuster Buster. If you know nothing about me, know this. I love Pixar. In fact, Toy Story is my all-time favorite movie, to the point that I'm very hesitant to view anything involving the Toy Story characters outside of the movies, as these characters are very precious to me. So when I first heard that ABC was producing a Toy Story Halloween special, I was taken aback, even though I was a little bit excited. After all, my favorite holiday and my favorite movie joining forces, what could be better? But then, the bad aftertaste of all those horrifically mediocre Toy Story shorts started to set in. So I became very skeptical as to the quality of Toy Story of Terror, but they promised that this would be an animated holiday special and not a short, and there were a few celebrities attached to do cameos, so I figured what the heck, I'll give it a shot, and lo and behold, Toy Story of Terror did not disappoint. Now, before I get ahead of myself, the plot. Our favorite gang of anthropomorphic toys are on vacation with their new owner, Bonnie, and her mom, when they suddenly get a flat tire on a dark and stormy night. So they end up spending the night at a roadside motel while they wait for a tow truck to arrive in the morning. So Buzz, Woody, Jesse, and the rest of the gang find themselves being stalked by a mysterious force. Can our pint-sized heroes solve the mystery of the Sleepwell Motel? Or will they be consumed by the hidden terror?
All great horror films start slowly. You see, they're designed.
Now, I have gone over my favorite characters, lines, and scenes in my last Toy Story review. So let's just jump straight to the analysis. Let's go ahead and get the negative stuff out of the way so we can get to the good stuff, because there is plenty of good here. I only have two real complaints about Toy Story of Terror. The first being that it doesn't really play like a special. To me, a television special should be like a movie, but with half the scope and the budget. Toy Story of Terror plays more like an episode of a Toy Story TV series. A really good episode, but an episode nonetheless. And my second complaint is that it's really short. Now, I do sympathize with the filmmakers, as I'm fully aware that computer animation of this quality is very expensive. Plus, the cast is comprised of a lot of big actors, so making the story longer would probably lead to an unacceptable price tag, especially for the likes of an animated special. But a running time of 21 minutes is just not enough Toy Story goodness. It's more like a Toy Story sample. With all that said, just like the Toy Story movies, Toy Story of Terror's pacing is excellent, and the story flows perfectly. I just really wanted more, especially since only the first 10 minutes are dedicated to the horror aspect of the story, and the last 10 minutes is pretty much your standard Toy Story fare, which is fine, but I just wanted more. I just don't feel comfortable referring to this as a special. It's more like a bonus Toy Story adventure. I have heard some people complain about how not all the characters are there.
See, there's Woody, Pricklepants, Trixie, Rex. Wait, where's Potato Head?
This doesn't bother me at all. Firstly, Bonnie wouldn't take all of her toys with her on a vacation. And secondly, it's obvious that the filmmakers were trying to recreate the cast of your standard creature feature. We have our leads, the skeptic, the fraidy cat.
Where's Pricklepants?
Well, he was standing right here just a moment ago.
And your expositional character, in the form of Mr. Pricklepants, played by super swab Timothy Dalton, who hilariously explains everything using tropes from horror movies.
It's quite common in these types of movies for one unsuspecting character to wander off and vanish.
Now, I will warn you ahead of time, if you're expecting your usual Toy Story scenario with Buzz and Woody hugging the spotlight, you might find yourself disappointed, because this adventure sorely focuses on Jessie, which I don't mind. I love Jessie. Here we get to see Jessie do something she's never done before, which is face her greatest fear. You see, Jessie is claustrophobic.
What's the matter with Jessie?
She was abandoned in a box for years.
Every hour spent together lives within my heart.
Oh, Emily, that bitch. As I've stated before, Jessie is one of the greatest female characters of our generation. But what makes a great character interesting is not their talents, it's their flaws and their ability to overcome them. With her friends in danger, Jessie must overcome her greatest impediment. Luckily, she gets a few motivational speeches from Combat Carl.
Combat Carl gets stuck in a jam. He says to himself, Combat Carl never gives up. Combat Carl finds a way. Now say it.
Combat Carl never gives up.
You're not Combat Carl.
Oh, Jessie never gives up. Jessie finds a way.
I can't hear you.
Jessie never gives up. Jessie finds a way.
Now, if you remember, Combat Carl is the first toy we see Sid destroy in the original Toy Story.
It's a Combat Carl.
Dangerous.
He's landing it! Hit the dirt!
Here, we finally see Carl take a central role, and he is appropriately played by Apollo Creed himself, Mr. Carl Weathers. Now, if you remember, Carl already played a soldier in one of the greatest creature features of all time, Predator. In that movie, he lost a vital appendage, a reference that was not beneath the folks at Pixar.
But I need to find my friends.
This is what happens when you try to find your friends.
That's awesome. I wish I could say more, but that would mean giving away major plot points. So I'll say this. This is one of the very few things that I have ever reviewed that I feel very comfortable recommending to everyone. You don't have to be a hardcore Toy Story fan to enjoy it, as it serves as a great introduction to these characters, especially my favorite yodeling cowgirl. 10 points on the badassitude meter. Gather your kids or your younger siblings, pop open some candy corn and give it a watch. If you dare. Okay, that's enough of that. Join the Legion, suckers!
It's Potato Head's arm.
Wait a minute. It looks like it's trying to tell us something.
What is it, little buddy?
I think he's using some kind of hand signals.
It's the number 1.
Oh, no. One letter.
One syllable. Once upon a time.
1 plus 1 is 1.
I think maybe it's pointing up.
Up.
Yeah.
Of course.